This really has been something. Wrexham at half-time were in all sorts of trouble, 2-1 down, and lucky to only be 2-1. Jefferson hit the post, of course, right at the end of the half. But now, what a second half performance. And Wrexham, as the Preston fans are leaving, Wrexham are being sung home. Ball swept out to Longman, who brings it down nicely by the corner flag, holding it up under pressure. And has he won a corner? No, because that is the final whistle. Wrexham win at Preston. We are in the third round of the League Cup for the first time since 1981. And that was quite the performance by a wholly rotated Wrexham side.
Well, we just love a Carabao Cup comeback, don't we? We're just up for the Cup this year, I think. But who says these sort of games don't matter? Because that was a really good game to watch, particularly obviously that second half. You know, fair play. They must have had probably a bit of a half time. The second half of that first half, you know, wasn't good enough. Preston really showed their quality and were right on top of us, like you said. Could have really probably put the game to bed a bit with that chance that Jefferson had just on the stroke of half time, hitting the post. But Wrexham come back into it. That mentality was there, that quality was there on the ball, so much better. And then the subs, the quality coming off the bench again, showed their class, didn't they? And that man Kiefer Moore gets the winner.
Such a better positive attitude in that second half. We were talking about on the front foot at half time. Yeah, the first half of the first half was okay, it's fairly even, I think, but then we just lost our way a little bit. Fair play to Phil Parkinson, because he's been able to iron that out and just take that fear away, just go for it. You know, you're a good player, you're a good team, just take the shackles off a little bit, and they certainly did that. The players were stepping in, they were a lot more positive, they were on the second balls. We're just asking a different question than we were asking in that second part of the first half, and it just shows what a good team we can be when our tails are up.
Absolutely, it was a hell of a fight back. Like I say, when we got on the front foot, we showed what we're all about. Wrexham, we went behind in the 17th minute. Brilliant finish by Lewis Dobbin, the Aston Villa loanee, curling it into the top right corner. But then an even more brilliant finish 11 minutes later. Ryan Hardy on the left side of the box, picking up a snappy pass by Callum Doyle, who put in a superb debut performance and ripping it in with his right foot into the far top corner. But as the half went on, Wrexham found themselves under increasing pressure. Liam Lindsay headed home from a divine corner, divine both in terms of the name of the taker and the quality on it. Sorry, I had to do that. Planting it home at the near post. And Wrexham at half-time clinging on, like I said, Jefferson hitting the post in added time, but in the second half, Wrexham came straight back. Harry Ashfield, who put in a great shift, equalised again. 59th minute, receiving a ball from Lee and drilling a shot which took a deflection and totally wrong-footed Walton going in. Wrexham made changes, so did Preston, of course. Both sides' benches were essentially full of first-teamers. Horribly for Preston, they threw on Osmic, the equal top scorer of the division, and he went off looking badly hurt. But Wrexham brought on Kiefer Moore, who made a big impact along the likes of Dobson and O'Brien, and a wreck by Walton, making a mess of a catch under his bar, meant that in the second minute of added time, Kiefer Moore was able to tap in to an empty net to give Wrexham the victory. Lots of positives about that. I mean, firstly, Doyle on his debut, really impressive.
Yeah, a number of positives. Like you say, Doyle, probably the one that comes first to mind. Really, really strong first performance in a Wrexham shirt for him, and you know, I sort of agree with what you said on comms during the game, that you know, one of the reasons why he maybe would have been brought off earlier than maybe some expected is because he's going to go straight into that side on Saturday against Millwall. And you know, I think there'll be very few who could probably argue that, because he's really shone tonight and did a lot of things. You know, listen, he didn't get every single pass. Not every single pass came off. But like Andy said before about someone like Harry Ashfield, they don't get down about it. They don't suddenly, the head doesn't go down. Positive, trying to make more. You know, always trying to go forward, and that's what we need from those players in those positions. So important, and you know, looks like it could be a really good little asset for us.
Yeah, I think Callum Doyle, for me, really positive with his passing. Play forward, break lines with it, ask questions. Love that about a player, especially one of the back ones. I think Brunt came on. I thought George Dobson was outstanding when he came on. He gave us a bit of energy, a bit of legs in there. So I think that second half performance, I'm sure that Phil Parkinson in the changing room's now going, that is how we play. That's the way that we play. We're full tilt, we're at them, we're on people, we don't give people a minute. I think Dobbin going off in that at half time, whether that's tactical to leave him for the weekend or what, and Osmajid going off as well, I think that's helped our cause a little bit, but not take nothing away from this team in that second half. We were so much better, and that is a blueprint now for, right, here we go, Millwall, that's how we do it.
Exactly, and it was nice to see us address the problem, because what happened in the second half of Sheffield Wednesday, even though it was a different 11, looked very familiar at the end of that first half, us failing to be composed on the ball when we were under pressure and just giving it straight back, constant pressure. But I mean, like I said in commentary, it just shows that often things like that, when people say, oh, you know, Wrexham are being too negative, well, firstly, no, it's more you're being driven backwards, and secondly, Phil Parkinson does not want them to do that. And he's clearly pressed the reset button really well at half time, reminded them of what they need to be doing and those basics to get out of that sort of vicious cycle, if you like. And as a consequence, we put in a second half performance like that, which genuinely does what you were both calling for at half time, allows players to put pressure on the players who are playing in the league for their places.
Yeah, but we've had 2,500 fans come on a Tuesday night, and it's a beautiful evening as well. You've got to give them something to just get cheery about, get happy about, start singing about, and that is a tackle. That's just show effort and determination and an intent about your play that you're going to try and go and win the game, and don't show that fear. It doesn't matter, just go, because I think that lot there, they will support you through thick and thin if they know that you're having a go. And I fear that the second half, Sheffield Wednesday, they didn't get that feeling. That last bit of that first half, they don't get that feeling. They feel that we're just crawling into our shell a little bit, and we are so much better when we go for teams. And I think that's, like I just said, the blueprint for us to go, right, that's where our standards are, and it can't drop from that.
Oh, exactly. So really, really satisfying. And I don't know, Man United away, third round, you know, essentially a bye.
Well, they've got to win first, have they?
Oh, so
you know,
good point. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I forgot that very, very important detail. Yeah, fair comment. Well, that was terrific. Like I said, first time we've got into the League Cup third round since 1981. That's the time when, a story I've told a few times on commentary, that mad story that Joey Jones told in his autobiography of when he got sent off at Tottenham and then was locked out of the temporary changing rooms and had to sit there and wait for the game to end. So yeah, let's see who we get in the draw. We're in the draw for the third round of the League Cup for the first time since they got televised. That's something, isn't it? Brilliant stuff. A great win here at Deepdale and a hugely entertaining cup tie. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring it to you with the final score of Preston North End 2, Wrrexham 3. We've been Paramount Plus's Mia Roberts, Andy Morrell and Mark Griffiths. Adios muchachos.